At the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference, we're talking to John MacPhail of I-5 Holdings. John, what brings you to Toronto?
Well, we're here for the conference in particular, and of course, and I appreciate you mentioning the I-5, but we were taken over earlier in the year by a publicly listed company called Captor Capital.
So talk to us about I-5 Holdings and that recent news update that you just shared.
Okay, thank you. So I-5 Holdings, we have a number of assets within the cannabis industry in Washington and California, but over the course of the last year, the strategy that we originally employed has evolved into one that's very focused on the retail in California, particularly established retail. So while we have some businesses or some license applications out, typically what we're looking for are dispensaries that have done a good job, but because of the banking issues, need capital for accelerated growth. And then of course by assembling a number of them, we're hoping to bring out the typical roll-up strategy to it, economy of scale, execution, that kind of thing.
But why choose this niche space, the retail space?
Okay, well because when you look at, as we all know, wherever you're dealing with globally, we work in a highly regulated industry that is driven by the license regime. And if you look at most jurisdictions we're in, if you can think of the license regime as an inverted pyramid. At the top you would have Canopy, not the company, but the actual license, and typically that is a broad number of licenses and a massive amount of capacity. And as you move through that regulatory regime and the licenses at the bottom, the most protected is the retail. And it's protected in two ways. Geographically, so in a lot of the counties that we're in, there's a limited number of licenses per county, and also the physical footprint or the green space is limited as well. So if you're able to locate a good operator looking for that capital, that's our perfect target, somebody who says, I may want to take some money off the table, but really I need capital to grow, expand, modernize. If you've spent any time in the United States in dispensaries, it's gotten very sophisticated very quickly, and we think there's a great opportunity to bring our skill set by capital, business management to those businesses to help them grow faster.
So what kind of companies are impressing you?
Well, we've also got a somewhat interesting strategy beyond what I would call the financial part of it, and that is, while we believe that there are some fantastic brands emerging, we don't want to bet on what might be the end successful one. What I do know within the jurisdictions we operate in, the consumer to purchase the product has to go to a retail store. So therefore, the retail experience becomes a brand in and of itself. If you look at a lot of these stores, they are beautifully laid out, the staff is highly educated, highly motivated, they do a great job, so it becomes the experience for the consumer to know that they can go in, their questions are answered, the bud tender treats them very well, understands what they want. There's always still a bit of a stigma for somebody to go into the store, so there's some certain barriers that we're helping the public overcome and come in, understand what they may or may not want to get out of a cannabis experience.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. Wonderful talking to you.
Well, thank you very much. My pleasure.